Fellow Biafrans, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are listening to my voice this moment, I welcome you to Biafra Universal TV with a vital update that will make your mind courageous to continue for the fighting for your freedom. As it stands this day, the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic in exile have made the Biafrans to understand that he still stands strong and solidly on his plans and his promises to liberate Biafran people from the shackle of poverty, penury, and untimely death. And he went ahead to promise Biafrans of their safety and protection and at the same time, the protection of their livelihood. At the same time, in the same vein, he made it clear that no Biafran should entertain fear of any kind, both home and abroad, because we have the government now that can be able to take care of Biafran people. Listen, this message is to whom it may concern. There are people who are less concerned about Biafra freedom and Biafra agitations because of the little thing that they gain from Nigeria government, because of the peanuts, the little money of bribery and corruption that they are receiving from Nigeria government, and at the end of the day, you will be impunitively killed. And nobody will ask of you, nobody will fight for you. It is not the normal time and appropriate time for Biafrans to rise up in one voice wherever they are in the world and declare their stance that they need Biafra freedom, Biafra exit from Nigeria. We are talking about Biafra this moment. Biafra is a living nation. Biafra is a breathing nation. Biafra is a beautiful nation. Biafra is an awesome nation. Biafra is a great nation ever before. Biafra is the rising sun. Biafra cannot be underrated nor overemphasized. And this very moment, your Prime Minister, Master Simon Ekpa, is making himself clear to everyone who have keen himself to the fight for freedom. And he made it explicit that self-determination is not a crime. And we all know it because we are all learned that when you are fighting for your right, it is not a criminal offense. Signed, documented, and enacted by international community. Self-determination is not a crime, and self-defense is not a crime. That you cannot just fold your hands and lay down your neck for somebody to kill you. It is not a good one. You have to protect yourself with everything you have. And for this reason, this moment, whosoever that is listening to me should come up, because this is a wake-up call. As it is happening in Ebonyi State today, it is happening in Anambra State, it is happening in Imo State, it is happening in Enugu State, it is happening in Abia State, without exception. Every part of Igbo land is being saturated with the presence of the evil ones because of their evil contraction called Nigeria. And this very moment, I am calling on every reasonable-minded Biafrans to listen to the voice of reason, the voice of truth, the divine one, the one that God have predestinated and ordained to liberate Biafran people from the shackle of death and penury and poverty. Because Nigeria have impoverished Biafrans for so many years now. Over 5 decades. Now, Biafrans have been wallowing in abject poverty, acute penury. Nigeria and their government have become an awkward predicament on Biafrans. But finally, God have decided to answer the prayers of Biafrans by providing them a Messiah. All right? I want to believe that Mazi Simon Ekpa is a Messiah that God have provided for the liberation, emancipation of Biafra nation. Anyhow you like, you look at it. Some of you may believe me, some of you may not believe me. I want to tell you categorically that since Simon Ekpa came into power for the Biafra agitation and Biafra restoration, virtually everything have changed the face to a higher level, to a greater height. And we are moving from height to height, from level to level. We are not going back, we are not retrogressing. We are accelerating with a strength, with a power, with a vigor, with the money, with the wisdom, with everything needed in all ramifications of life to determine primarily the restoration of Biafra sovereign state. And I want to assure you, because I can foresee the kind of level of dignitaries that have waken up to join this Biafra agitation from far and near, which I will not divulge to you today, and I will not divulge it to you tomorrow, because the truth cannot be changed. You will witness the whole change, positive change. You will witness every good thing coming to Biafra land because of Biafra restoration. Fellow Biafrans, ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic in Exile went ahead to let Biafrans know that they should not be intimidated by the presence of their detractors from the evil entity called Nigeria. They should not jittery. They should not back down. They should not back further. It is not the time to fear. No matter the kind of gadget, no matter the kind of ammunitions and weapons, no matter how sophisticatedly they equip themselves. Simon Ekpa made it clear that those that support Biafrans are stronger, better, ready than those who supported Nigeria. As you are listening to me this moment, let it make sense to you that you have to fight for your birthright. You have to fight for yourself, for your life, for your country, for your people. Give something to Biafra, not for Biafrans to give to you. After you have given something to Biafrans, now Biafra will begin to give you. How I mean by giving something to Biafra? You have to pray for Biafra to be restored. You have to fast for the Biafra to be restored. All right? You have to give out your money for Biafra restoration. You have to give out your resources, your materials for Biafra restoration. Because the Biafra restoration we are talking about is very exorbitant. Somebody who don't have money does not fight for freedom. The people who fight for freedom are rich men and women. If you permit me to go ahead at this moment, I would like to assure you and to tell you that money answereth all things. Money is needed in this Biafra agitation. Money is needed both for security forces from Biafra land to be properly equipped against the attacks of the enemies, against the invaders who are looking for land to sojourn by all means. Money is needed. And wherever you are, I want to tell you that the kind of money needed now for Biafra nation to be restored is an unlimited money. When I say unlimited, you cannot outrightly say this is the very amount specifically needed for this big project to be accomplished. But all what I believe is that from all ramifications of life, you have something to contribute as a Biafran for the facilitation and the speediness of Biafra restoration, because you don't chase a snake with an empty hand. The people we are dealing with are very deceptive, very cunning, and at the same time cannot be trusted, cannot be relied upon. Nigeria cannot be trusted. Nigerians can never be trusted. And for this reason, they can do anything at any time without minding how you feel, without minding your pains, without looking at your face. So what they need is their own, their pocket, their children, their family. They don't care about you. But the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic in exile cares about you, Biafrans. Listen to the voice of reason and get up and do something significant for the improvement and for the restoration of Biafra freedom. Dear Biafrans, as you are listening to me, I believe that you are not going to make it just of this wisdom. Because as He is promising you all these things, you have to ask yourself, what have I immensely contributed for the facilitation of Biafra restoration and the security of Biafran people, both home and abroad? Because your lives are very important. And the Prime Minister is making it explicit for you to understand that there's no any amount of money that can be spent that will be more than your life. There's no any amount of money that will be more valued than any Biafran's life. And for this reason, He has resolved to make sure that every Biafran is comfortable and protected and secured even from the face of danger, surrounding them from east, north, south, and west. Because as well, from south to east, where Igbos are dwelling purposely, mainly, you will discover that some Igbos and some Biafrans are kicking against Biafran nation. That they want to stop the restoration of Biafra by all means. But if Chukwu Okike Abiama have decided in His infinite mercy to smile on His people, Biafra is here now with us. And what do we need to do? What we need to do is to go out there and make sure that our territory and our boundaries are completely secured and equipped from the invaders, because they can come in any moment. And I want to believe that the kind soldiers and resistance fighters that Biafrans are having now and are going to have today and tomorrow and next tomorrow until this world comes to an end are going to be unbeatable. If you wouldn't mind, let me tell you how I feel to call Biafran soldiers. I feel to call them indomitable forces. I feel like calling them security forces beyond human comprehension, because they were ordained and provided by the Almighty God to savage the land of Biafra, the land of God, a place where the presence of God can be found any moment, any time, because God does not joke with the lives of His people. Therefore, as you are listening to me, make a proper use of this very speech. Make a proper use of this very broadcast. I want you to utilize it judiciously for your own good and for your generation's good. Because if we refuse to fight the detractors and win them now, our generations are going to suffer a perpetual impediment. As I'm talking with you now, There are many evil plans going on against the Biafrans and Biafra agitators. And this is why you see their powerful commanders and generals. Almost every time you will hear that they are being killed, murdered by Nigeria's security criminals. What I'm telling you this moment is that you must rise up. This is the time to rise against the enemies. This is the time to rise above hate. This is the time to mean what you say. This is the time to hold the bull by the horn. This is destiny time. This is the time to demonstrate what God has put on your inside, to make sure that Biafran people and those who believe and love freedom are completely emancipated from the entanglement and the dungeon and bondage of Nigeria government, because there is no any time that you will wait for that you can say that yes, now Nigeria is okay and Nigeria have recovered. The pandemic that Nigeria is suffering from have no antidote and have no cure. So for this reason, no need of you wasting your time for nothing. Join a moving car. Be free from starvation. Be free from epidemic of corruption, epidemic of bribery, epidemic of genocide, epidemic of terrorists, epidemic of bandits. Be free by joining Biafra movement, which has already been predetermined, and we are just in few weeks looking at the validation and the declaration of the restoration of the United States of Biafra. As you are listening to me, I don't want you to look left and right with fear, because if you didn't do it now, you won't do it again. And therefore, I want to believe that this is the appropriate time for those who believe that Biafra is their nation to rise up in one accord and do the needful. So, do not allow the intimidators to dominate you. Do not allow the rule and divide, the divide and rule people to dominate you. Do not fall a victim in the hands of political marigenders. Don't fall a victim in the hands of tribalistic people, nepotizing people, or nepotic people. You understand? The saboteurs. Don't fall a victim in their hands. Read the signs and understand the season. That this moment, this season, is the season of freedom. Is the season to fight for liberation. Is the season that have been predetermined by divine Almighty God for you to be free from every caterpillars and cankerworm. This is the time that Chukwuokike Abiama have predestinated for Biafrans to go home and rest and have peace and worship Him in truth and in spirit, and to cut off every spirit of rape, every spirit of kidnapping, and etc. Don't forget, your life is more valued than money. You see that those who are fighting you because they need the land, they don't look back. They always come with the violence. And I believe that violence will give them a land of their own to settle as a nation. I want to tell you before I wrap up that Biafra land can never be given to Fulanis to settle as their own nation. Even if it will take one man standing in Biafra land, that one man will conquer the whole Nigeria. and have a victory over Fulanis. Thank you.